So just going ahead and double clicking this to lock and dim this down, click OK, and now you can work on a layer above this. And what you want to start off with is taking a look again, not necessarily working about the shading as much as the layout for it, and just reset these just to give it a color, and just taking the ellipse tool, making a circle with the shift key to kind of take a look at that illustration right there. So that's just a color right in the front there. And then just looking at this shape, I'm just going to take and use the pen tool and hold the shift key to keep it straight going up at the top here. And that's a shape on the top there. And then again, trying to find a point to flip it, I'm going to use the circle and put a ruler guide right down the middle so I have that as a point of reference for the rotation or the flipping of this piece. So here's the reflect tool. I just have to option and shift, and taking a look, that's the distance it's going to be. So I'll hit copy, and then while it's still highlighted, just double click the tool this time and take a look at the horizontal, and that's the section that I want it to be at. So I've flipped it vertically, it's symmetrical coming across, so I'll click OK and see that now that I have it, I should have made it a little bit larger. So I'm going to backtrack out of here and just take the direct selection tool and extend this a little bit, taking just that end point, shift key it up, and take this one just so I have plenty of room. I'd rather have it start from scratch really well. So here it is again, the reflect tool, option to click, that sets that as the point, sets it there, so I copy it, double click on the tool, I have it as a window shade, just hit OK, and just use the arrow key to move it right across there. So now I have these three pieces, and just select all three of them. Again, use the shape builder, just hold the option key to cut these out, and that gives you a pretty accurate section for the beginning. And then taking a look at this piece, trying to do the same idea where you're duplicating a section that's symmetrical. So I take the pen tool and I may try to draw this one. Shift key to keep the handles together. I could try to come all the way down to get the second arch so it's not cutting across that. Click on that and do a shift key to keep it perfectly straight and give it another color just to see the transformation there. So deselect everything, then select it again so it doesn't have just the end point selected, and again holding the option right on the base of it, flipping it horizontal. In fact, before we do this, we'll take out the fill and zoom into this part and just make that shape. Whether you do it with the pen tool, I'm going to use an elliptical shape, and a rectangle. Again, trying to utilize all the shape options that you have. Give this a color so you can see what's happening. One's overlapping the top. In the Pathfinder, just taking that out. It's on top of this one, so I'll give that a color. And these two shapes, now tricky part is you may want that one, but for now I'm just going to punch a hole through it. And it's a compound path, so I make that in there, so now it's the hole right through there. And now just reflect this one. Hold the option to click right on this line, right on the path. Flip it horizontal, copy it. And there you can kind of see that that's the selection to it. So I just highlight those and unify it using the Pathfinder tool. Now, assuming that the designer, as you guys go through this, that you wanted that symmetrical or keeping that look to it, that's what's happening to it. So I can just put it behind it for now. Okay. And then taking a look at this section. Again, you could use the pen tool, but again, trying to use some of the shapes to help. So I'm going to start off at least with an elliptical shape just to get that curve. right like that. And just take off the fill so you can kind of see that line. And maybe just go ahead and use the pen tool. In this case, I'm going to overlap it. And just trying to get you familiar with using all the different Pathfinder tools. So there's two shapes. Shift key them. And in the Pathfinder, the third one over is the intersect. So that'll become the shape that's inside of it. So you can kind of get an idea for that one. Just put it behind it. Okay. Here we have this kind of a fuse. So just take a pen tool to click and drag to start it off. And coming down here, take off the stroke, deselect it, and again, using the stroke panel, give it a thickness to it, object path and outline it, so you have that section to it. Give it a color just so you can see it, and just put it behind everything just so you can start. Now if you wanted that to be changed or thick or thin, you can do that with the width tool. It's kind of an idea. And this one could use the shape tool with the star, which we've done. So just clicking inside here, there's 6 of these, so just kind of blend it off like that. And turn that off, take the direct selection tool. And here's a way to use some of the convert tools too. When you take the pen tool, the one at the end, the anchor point tool, you can click on, and that's going to give you some of the curves. Allows you to move it with the space bar, and once you have it selected, each time you can drag out the handles to give yourself another point to it. So you can kind of section that off. Once you start it, activate it, find that curve, and then just take this handle and curve it down that way. So it's kind of a nice way to use the star tool. You could draw it with the pen tool. There's the arch for it. So just kind of space bar, get some of the curve in there, and we'll see how we can wrap this up here. So there's the space bar up there. I might have missed a point, but that'll come later. The direct selection tool, I think I have it connected. Once you have that, you can adjust the points down below. Make it a little bit more attached to this drawing. So the handles with the direct selection tool stay exposed, so that you can adjust them. But just to start it, you click to get the beginning part. And there you have it. So you could do it with the pen tool or the direct selection tool connected to it. And you can grab, once it's activated, you can grab the line segment inside of it. And that allows you to build up with it. And taking a look at the paths inside, you can curve it on the interior. So there's that initial selection. And do the same with these little extra pieces that he has going here. Just an option there. Okay, so once you have that, you can shift key these pieces right here, and taking a look at your path, you can take inside, add a profile to it if you'd like, give it a little look to it like that. There you kind of have the beginning of it. set it.